Today you will learn about an organization created to improve the environment in the city of Los Altos and the city of Los Altos Hills, and by extension the surrounding cities will benefit as well. And believe it or not, there's a great big patch out in the middle of the Pacific Ocean that will benefit from their work. My name is Bill Mannion, and I will be your host today for this edition of The Better Part. Please stay tuned.
Welcome to The Better Part, a program that encompasses a diverse spectrum of topics important to our community, which we hope will both inform and entertain you. We invite you to sit back and enjoy the program.
With us in the studio today are two folks from Greentown, Los Altos. Margie Swartzo.
Thank you, Bill. It's a pleasure to be here.
Wonderful for you to come into the studio. And Mike Barnes.
Thank you, Bill. I'm happy to be here today.
Ladies first. Can you tell us about Greentown, Los Altos?
Sure. I can give you a little bit of background. We actually started as Cool Los Altos. We were a Sierra Club Cool Cities team focused on climate protection policies. We made significant progress in that area, but in 2008 we felt it important to shift our focus to encouraging folks in Los Altos and Los Altos Hills to change behaviors to improve the environmental sustainability and the health and the vitality of our community.
Wonderful.
And that's when we adopted the name Greentown, Los Altos.
Yes.
But we've made significant progress in the area of waste, for example. We had a real opportunity with a contract that was up in Los Altos for renegotiation. And so what we did, a really fabulous team of volunteers worked to develop some specific recommendations about what that contract could look like, how we could increase diversion from the landfill, increase recycling, and we had a major emphasis on composting, because so much of our waste stream, our landfilled waste, was actually compostable.
The set of recommendations that the team came up with were adopted first by the Environmental Commission, and then by the city council, the city staff, and finally by the council, went out as part of the request for procurement. And so that hard work by the team of Greentown volunteers ended up all being in that contract proposal.
Wonderful.
And as a consequence, we have a new contract as of September, and we've improved the diversion rate. That is the rate of material going to the landfill from what was a 56% diversion to what is now over 70, and what is targeted to be 78% diversion over the life of this contract.
How many people do you have in Greentown, Los Altos, as the people who go out and talk to the community?
Well, it's a relatively modest group of volunteers. Probably in a good initiative we have 10 to 12 committed volunteers. Probably 50 who are the next level of commitment if we need help. For example, we do some education at community events where we set out bins, or the waste contractor will set out bins, compostables, recyclables, and landfill. And we have a number of people monitoring those stations to let people know, where do I throw my waste? And it helps a lot to have somebody standing at one of those stations, because you'd be surprised at what people throw where.
Oh, wrong things in the wrong place. You have an email list, I understand. How many people do you send this information out to?
We have 1,000, or more than 1,000, I think, on our email list, actually, so our database. It includes some businesses and many residents.
Tell our viewers some of the other accomplishments of Greentown, Los Altos.
Well, we've supported a visioning process for downtown Los Altos to create schematics and a sense for people of what it would look like for Los Altos to be more walkable, more bikeable, for people to have, for us to have maybe higher density, more homes and more jobs in downtown Los Altos, so people could live and work and play there. That's taken off in positive ways through other organizations who are now working on that as well. And we have done quite a bit of education on energy and waste and water in town, as well as on transportation alternatives that are more friendly to the environment. And we have a bike walk to school program for the school children. We have 4 schools that are involved in the Los Altos School District right now, and we're hoping to expand that. But in the fall of this year, we have 10,000 car trips that have been avoided by kids who are biking and walking to school.
Now that's remarkable. How did you get the count to a number, precise number, 10,000?
So at each of the schools that are participating, they have what a ZAP, which is a radio frequency ID recorder. And the kids either wear on their backpacks or on their helmets the RFID tag that allows them to go underneath the ZAP reader, and there's a buzz that goes off every time they go underneath.
Wonderful.
And the program managers who are working at each of the schools are really providing great incentives to the kids to encourage them to keep biking and walking to school.
Now that's a program Cupertino should certainly pick up on, and you could help them, because we have a terrible problem with the Monte Vista Kennedy Lincoln School at the intersection of McClellan and Bub Road.
Yeah.
Yeah. So would you, just as a resident of Cupertino, would you take that kind of thing, the ZAP approach to Cupertino?
I believe Suzanne Ambiel, who is managing that program, has already been in conversations with folks in Cupertino, because this is an obvious one for a lot of folks in our region. You know, from this perspective of climate change, our greatest contribution to carbon emissions is from transportation, and where better to start than with the kids?
Perfect. Perfect.
So then we also initiated our co-op program, which we're here to talk about, and that's our program to help restaurants shift from styrofoam to compostable containers.
That's great. Speaking of shifting from containers that folks take home, this is an example of one, and it's made out of
Styrofoam.
Styrofoam, and we'll be talking more about the dangers of that later in the program. So then the reason you went from Greentown Los Altos to add the word Greentown Co-op. Can you explain the co-op idea?
This is the area where I've been volunteering most of my time over the last year and a half with Greentown. And we saw this as a natural opportunity once it was clear that the new waste contract was going to have a major emphasis on composting. So we knew that, because we're all restaurant goers, we knew that most of the restaurants were still sending home product, both on the takeout order and the take-home side. They were sending it home in styrofoam containers. They're very inexpensive, and they're ubiquitous in terms of the restaurant business. And yet they never go away in the environment. So it seems like a major opportunity for us to get restaurant owners in Los Altos to focus on removing styrofoam from that part of their business and replacing that with a compostable container. We now had the way of handling compostable containers both at home and in the commercial pickup side.
Okay, so this is styrofoam. It's not compostable, and there's a cost that the restaurateur has to pay for this. Is the compostable container roughly the same price?
It's more expensive, and we knew that was going to be a barrier to having the restaurant owners make this move. We had to get this opportunity for the restaurant owners to a point where there was not very much of a penalty for them to make the move to a more environmentally positive kind of container to go home. So that was our target when we started, and we spent several months then looking for the right partner who would be willing to make a deep discount from their normal pricing structure if our volunteers from Greentown would make the call on all the restaurants in Los Altos.
Wonderful. Tell us about you found a partner. Tell us about your partner.
Well, our partner, after many months of talking to several potential suppliers, our partner is World Centric in Palo Alto. World Centric is a environmentally focused supplier of only compostable containers and utensils, not biodegradable, but only compostable. We'll talk about that in a bit. And they've been willing to give deep discounts, and our team has been out calling on the restaurant trade in Los Altos.
Wonderful. And I met you at a restaurant in Cupertino where you were talking to other restaurant owners on this subject.
We've actually been invited with this program to come to Cupertino and talk to a group of restaurant owners there. We've also been invited into Mountain View to share our program approach with a similar environmentally focused team in Mountain View.
And folks in Palo Alto and Menlo Park have also expressed an interest. This program has a lot of potential for broad applicability throughout the Bay Area.
Well, I'm somewhat familiar with polystyrene. It comes with anything that's packaged, particularly electronics, and there's a lot of it. And my first reaction is, well, it looks like it's plastic, it can be recycled, but tell me why I can't do that.
Well, if you look at the polystyrene over here, you'll turn it over and you'll see it's got the the
recycling triangle,
chasing triangle recycling sign on it. It's got a number 6 in the middle of that. Technically, it's a recyclable product. Practically, it does not get recycled.
Well, what if it's not recycled? As a resident, where do I put it? In the garbage can?
Yeah, it goes in the garbage can, or if you put it in the recycle thing, most of your waste rehaulers now just take it out of there and send it right to the landfill.
Okay.
And the reason for that is, I'm sorry, Mary, did you want to comment?
Excuse me, Mike. I think it is important for people to contact their waste hauler and ask them, what actually happens to that polystyrene? It's a great way for residents to get educated, because there are some opportunities for recycling polystyrene, but practically speaking, they don't tend to be used.
I did call my garbage company, and they said exactly what you said. If you put it in the blue container, it'll end up in the landfill. And they gave me there's 3 numbers in Cupertino to call where they do actually craft shops, other places like that, where they make use of it.
That's fabulous, yeah.
And the reason it does not get recycled is it takes special equipment. Most of the processors have not invested in that special equipment, and the reason they have not is that the end product from a recycled polystyrene product is a very low-grade material for which there is virtually no aftermarket. So they know that they're wasting money to try to recycle it, so it just goes straight to the landfill. And that's really a bad outcome for the environment.
It'd be wonderful if we could just get rid of this as a product altogether. We come up with some other.
And in a small way, that's what we're trying to do with the restaurants as our target.
Wonderful. That's a good start. So this product never goes away. It's an energy-intensive manufacturing process. It requires twice the energy to produce this as it does the compostable.
That's right. We've done quite a little bit of research on this issue in order to get ready to talk to our restaurant owners. We've had some help certainly from the people at World Centric, but what you've just stated is absolutely correct. Very energy-intensive manufacturing process, very toxic manufacturing process. It involves benzene, which is a carcinogen, and styrene, which is a suspected carcinogen and neurotoxin. The blowing agent that's used in the manufacturing process is known to degrade the ozone layer. And as I mentioned before, it takes about twice the energy to make a styrofoam container as it does to make the same size compostable container. So there are lots of reasons why that's not a good product for the environment. And it, as you said in starting your comments, it never, ever goes away. It will be around 1,000 years from now.
Yes, and a lot of it is out of that garbage patch in the middle of the Pacific Ocean.
That's right. And the other issue is that a very small percentage of it, or the percentage that goes to the landfill, some of it gets blown away because it's light, and that's part of how it ends up in our streams, fouling our streams, and eventually out to the bay, and then because of the currents out to the Pacific garbage patch.
Yes. Now, recently we had a 1,000 program celebration, and World Centric was kind enough to donate cups, 2 sizes, and the material, the utensils to eat from. None of this is going to cause a problem in the Pacific Ocean garbage patch. Tell me why.
These are all compostable products.
What are they made out of?
This particular product is made out of PLA, which stands for polylactic acid, which is a corn-based resin. It looks like plastic. It's made out of corn-based resin. It's fully compostable, and which means that it will break down in a commercial compost facility within 180 days and be reduced to carbon dioxide, water, and biomass. Biomass is non-toxic, and the resulting compost must support plant growth. So those are the rules for meeting the technical definition of compostable. That technical definition is defined by the American Society for Testing and Materials. So it is regulated, by government, that compostable means it must be down to a compost product, non-toxic, and support plant growth within 180 days.
In a commercial composting
in a commercial facility.
I noticed it has a little triangle with the number 7, which must supersede the 6, and it has the word compostable on it.
Exactly.
So if someone's going out to buy something like this, just take a look and make sure that it's compostable.
You can either see a chasing circle, which is tending to be the symbol now of a compostable product, or a chasing triangle with a 7 in it, which means it's compostable. That's the way you'll define a compostable product.
Now the same thing is true exactly for this product, and it's very sound. It's almost like a regular metal knife, spoon, fork. It goes along with the plate.
Yes.
And the plate is, can you tell us about
Yes,
this?
the plate is made out of either bagasse, which is bagasse, B-A-G-S-S-E, French word, which means sugarcane stalk. And or it is made out of a wheat stalk. Okay, so the non-agricultural part of the wheat growing cycle. So that is a fully compostable product. These utensils are again made out of PLA, which is the corn resin base. So all of these products are fully compostable.
So if I'm out in the store and I want to buy the correct environmental product, I would see something like this. It looks rather attractive. It has this little pattern around the edge, but tell me why I shouldn't buy that.
This product, which doesn't have a mark on it, but says it's biodegradable, is not compostable. Biodegradable product will break down in a natural setting over a longer period of time, but has no requirement to not have a toxic residue. So naturally acting organisms in a landfill will eventually break this down, but it is not going to be a compost product because it will not go down and leave the non-toxic residue in a compost product. And the reason for that is that this particular product, which I know has a significant petroleum-based content to it.
Okay, so.
It's confusing for consumers.
You bet.
See 100% biodegradable and you think fabulous. That's a good product.
Until I met Mike and learned about this, I would never have known the difference.
Yeah.
Biodegradable, in my mind, is good. Compostable is better.
Way better.
I think the key too is that biodegradable doesn't have any standards associated with it. So as Mike said, it can biodegrade over any period of time, which most things will do. Compostable, however, has a very specific standard that the American Society of Testing Materials has put out.
So, well, we did talk about compostable and biodegradable, and What is the difference between a clear container and the fibrous container?
Well, we talked a little bit about that before, but I think it's worth repeating. This product is the PLA-based product or corn resin-based product. Looks like plastic, but will completely compost in a commercial composting facility, made out of all organic, natural products. These utensils, made out of the same product, again, they will compost. They will break down to a product that will support plant life with no toxic residue within 180 days in a commercial compost facility.
Wonderful.
The same thing will happen for this. This is made out of all natural product. That's part of the agricultural process. So we're using a part of the agricultural product that otherwise has no agricultural value and would otherwise go to a landfill, and we're making a compostable product that we can use, out of that. So a wheat straw-based or a bagasse-based product and a corn-based product. These products, these corn-based products, are better used for colder products coming out of a restaurant, products that are under 110 degrees Fahrenheit. These products, and I've got some others down here that I should show you right now. The wheat straw or bagasse products will support temperatures in excess of 300 degrees.
Well,
so you can actually put this product, if you bring home your take-home product here, you can put this product in a microwave oven and reheat it.
Wonderful.
And then the resulting food stain product can go right into your compost bin.
Wonderful.
So this is for hot products, and this plastic-looking corn-based resin product is for colder products under 110.
My garbage company left this on my driveway, and I said, "Isn't that nice? It's perfect for my Crystal Light when I pour the powder in and make a big pitcher of Crystal Light lemonade." And I found out from Mike that, wait a minute, you're not supposed to use that. It's called Recology Cupertino Waste Zero Food Waste / Compostable Material. And I'm supposed to take stuff that I normally put in the garbage can, put it in here, fill it up, and then at periodic times take it out and put it in my yard waste.
Exactly. And we're doing the same thing in Cupertino.
In Los Altos.
In Los Altos. And we have a slightly different looking container, a little more rectangular and a little bit more volume than that, but the idea is the same. We're putting coffee grounds, food scraps, soiled paper, and food stained paper products all go into this compostable container in the kitchen, much like this. And every couple of days I'll take it down and put it into my compost bin and roll it out weekly to the curb. And so we have a significant greater volume of composting going out to the curb now than we did under our former contract.
Yeah, and it's helping approach that 78% diversion
exactly,
rate.
Right.
How do our viewers reach Greentown Los Altos, or I should say Greentown Co-op, to learn more about organizations and about the co-op? What is the method you have for getting in touch?
Well, we have a website. That's www.greentownlosaltos.org, which is the best way to reach us and learn more about our various programs. We have a new executive director, Keith Turner, who can be reached via our website or keith@greentownlosaltos.org. Other co-op specific information, Mike?
I should mention that we're having some early success with the co-op. We've been at it several months now, and we have signed on several restaurants in Los Altos. We've got a smaller subset of the several who have signed on that say they want to support us, who are actually ordering product. But over the first 8 months of the time that we've been out calling on restaurants, we've sold about $62,000 worth of compostable product into the restaurant chain. We're getting a major help in this regard from a food service company in Los Altos, headquartered in Los Altos, Epicurean. They've converted about 12 of their clients have moved over to are buying under this contract.
So this is a company that services or caters to firms like Lockheed,
exactly,
NetApp, and so
exactly. I don't know what their exact customer base is, but they have converted several of their accounts to this and are using this. And in fact, the principal of Epicurean is my co-chair on this
really?
co-op. So I want to give her a shout out today and for all the hard work she's put on as well. Yeah.
Is there anything else that you'd like to add to the conversation before?
Well, I'm a mother of 3, and I feel like we really need to do this for our children. And it can be disheartening to see that there are folks who are not as engaged. So we really feel like we're working to create programs that can help engage people in doing the right thing, having fun while doing it, or learning something new while doing it, and helping to educate our children to grow up with these same values.
And I hope people who are watching this today will be inclined to check us out on the website and hopefully get involved, particularly if you're a Los Altos or Los Altos Hills resident. Please check us out and click on the links and tell us a little bit about yourself and come on down and get involved.
Okay. Well, listen, Margie and Mike, thank you very much for coming to the Better Part today to explain to our audience what's going on in the world of compostables. It's a major, major, major contribution. And our viewers, I hope, will listen and pay attention to what has been offered today and become part of the contribution to making a better, healthier, cleaner environment. Thank you for watching. I hope you've enjoyed the program.
We hope that you have found today's program both informative and interesting. If you would like to suggest a topic or a guest for the Better Part, you can always reach us at the Cupertino Senior Center. The number there is 408-777-3150. You can learn more about us and order a copy of this program or one of the many programs that we've done by visiting our website. The website address is www.thebetterpart.com. The Better Part has many of its programs available through the Santa Clara County Library System. And the Better Part has selected programs also on YouTube. Thanks again for watching. See you next week.